artists that are able to achieve it. Okay? Anyone can put light on a canvas. That's not the question. Can they do chiaroscuro? And chiaroscuro is like light, looks like it's coming out of it. Very few could do it. Rembrandt's one. Many of you have heard of Thomas Kincaid? Have you? Kincaid actually had that ability as an American painter, which is unusual, but not too many. Okay, sfumato, blurred edges. I have already defined everything for you. Tenebrism, contrapposto, iconography. What is iconography?
It's like at a church, you know, like those things on a painting, like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In a church, then artists would use the same icon images over and over again because they're speaking a language. So many people don't know that if we're looking at religious artworks, okay, and there is a white iris, no, white lily. Let's go with the white lily. If there's a white lily in the painting, what does it mean?
Purity or
It's resurrection.
oh yeah, you said
Okay.
yeah.
If there's a red carnation, what does it mean?
Death or something.
Yes, blood of Christ.
Yeah, blood of
The
Christ.
death of Christ, blood of Christ. So everything, if there's a candle in the painting and the flame is lit, one white candle with a flame, what does that mean? Means the presence of Christ is in the room.
Oh wow.
If it's snuffed out, means the presence isn't there. If there is a dog in the painting at the foot of someone, what does that
Yeah. Loyalty.
Yes,
Yeah.
loyalty. It means that person is loyal and it's fidelity. Are you starting to see that paintings have metaphor? And that you have to learn the symbols to understand, to be able to read many of these paintings? So these are the symbols that we talk about in art and the language of art that you have to learn. The great thing about this class, or I believe, is many people go to a museum, and I often wonder if they don't have knowledge of art history, what are they doing there? Because they'll stand in front of a painting and look at it. And then they'll move on to the next one and look at it. And the next one. And I love to watch people in museums. I love to. Because number one, I play games. It's like, okay, where did the artist direct the person to stand? And I wait for them to walk up to the painting to see. And it works every time. The artist directs the viewer. The artist always has control over the viewer. And the artist knows that, okay? But then I go to the language of art to read the painting. Well, most people are looking at a painting and they're doing what we call aesthetic. They just look at it and they go, oh, yeah, I like that. It's pleasing to them. And that's what aesthetic is, pleasing to your soul, basically, visually pleasing, okay? They're not looking at it for content or to read it. But when the world couldn't read or write, how do you think they learned?
Drawings and stuff like that, like cave paintings and like it's just, you know,
Well, yeah, but
stuff
when
like
they
that.
couldn't read or write, it was paintings, you're right.
Yeah.
It was paintings that instructed. And that is how people regained knowledge. When you were young, how did you learn? Was it by pictures? How many of you could make up a story in a book that you could read even though you didn't know how to read the words? Remember? So we do learn pictorially and visually, and that's why the language is important, and especially the languages we're going to enter into. Because one of the biggest things that's going to bring us into this time period is called Black Death. What was Black Death?
The plague.
The plague. Over 200 years. 200 years, people. That's a long time. The loss of life was over 50%. Some believe it was as high as 75. But we do know, absolutely, over 50% of the population. Okay? Black Death, many people, once they contracted it, they would be gone in 2 days. It was that fierce. It was a high fever, and the reason it was called Black Death is because it left black sores. And those sores were like blisters that swelled up because of the fever, right? So imagine the world, and imagine villages, and half of that village being gone. How does the village survive?